I've been getting a lot of questions about what my training split is, and instead of just making a video on my training split, I'm going to show you how. I'm going to show you how to create a gym split and also show you my split at the end of the video. So then at least you understand why I do what I do, and then you'll understand what to do for you. So let's begin with, why is it so hard to pick a split to begin with? So the first reason I would like to state is cope maxing. So in small, cope for natural lifters as well, because building muscle takes so long, everyone just thinks, yeah, I'm not following the right split. If I do these stretch curls, then I'll gain more muscle, right? Nah, that's not how it works. Cope maxing, number one. Number two is so restarted. I'm just kidding, obviously, for copious amount of reasons. You aren't retarded, I mean restarted. You are just not knowledgeable, which is fine, which is why you're watching this video, and I'm going to teach you how. And I'm going to make you not restarted. The third reason, glazing other creators too much. So that is like following the likes of Jeff Nippard. I love that video. Yeah, so following the likes of other creators too much. So Jeff Nippard, let's say 1 week he likes, high volume, he releases 2.9 version Gen 5 of his push-pull legs Arbold split, I don't know, and then everyone's like, yeah, this is great, and then he releases another video on, I don't know, lower volume, which he has done, and then everyone's, wow, this is amazing, the gains are off the charts. So that's reason number 3, creators glaze. And number 4 is there is so much information out there, it's hard to know what to believe, especially since now we are into short form content. A lot of the time we see one video saying there's this study on this exercise and why it's better than this exercise, and then you'll see the absolute opposite on someone's you'll see the opposite on Instagram, whatever. Too much information, too much for you to process, which is why I made this video. So how do we fix these problems and let you understand a split? So how to fix? We need to understand the concepts. The concepts are really simple. When you understand the concepts, you are then able to follow a split with confidence, knowing you are doing the best for muscle growth, which is what this split's for. And another reason, is this a reason? Why is it so hard to pick a split? How to fix? Yes. Why is it so hard? The fix, you need to understand that there is never a perfect split. So actually kind of is, but there isn't. There's never a perfect split that I will be able to create for you, because everyone has different needs. Now, unless I actually spoke to you in person, then maybe. But something that I'm going to show you now will never be perfect for you, because everyone has different priorities, different needs, different times that they can train, etc. Different days that they can be in the gym. And that's it. We are not going to talk about motor neurons. I just added this picture because it looks like I know what I'm talking about, which I do. Look at me, I'm wearing a really tight tank top. I'm only showing the top half of my body. That means I'm gacked. Come on. Anyways, what are the concepts? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 concepts I have thought of, and I'm going to show you what they all mean. First, it is simple, by the way. Frequency. All frequency is how many times you train a muscle group in a week. So the first thing about frequency, 2 times a week is always going to be better than 1 time a week. That's a given, okay? So 1 time a week programs like bro split, don't do. That's not, no. No! Okay, that's it. 2 times a week has been proven time and time again. Better than 1 time. So, bro split. Bro split is shit. Okay, now why is bro split shit? So, after 48 hours, muscle atrophy. So, muscle is always in a state of either hypertrophy or atrophy. I'm pretty sure that's the way they phrase it. So essentially, you want to have a high enough frequency in your split into which you are hitting your muscle groups constantly. You don't want to absolutely smash the chest and get a sick chest pump and then hit it a week later, because that's not optimal. And now 3 times a week against 2x a week, we don't know. There's not really enough studies, and the people that do full body every other day, that's just sort of the SBL analysis paralysis type shit stuff. I mean, I haven't tried it. Actually, no, I have tried it, but I haven't stuck to it because the first day I did it, there's just so much to do, and I just don't have the energy to do full body. Literally, it was so fatiguing. And this little GIF means absolutely nothing. It's just a little frequency niche GIF. Just wavelengths. Anyways. Number 2. So this was number 1. Let's go back up here. This was number 1. Now, number 2 is volume. So, why is it doing this again? There we go. Number 2 is volume. And volume is how many sets you train each muscle group in a session. So, 1 set is great. And there's a little, this diagram here is essentially showing you how much stimulus you get per set within an exercise. So this is 1. This is 1 set. It's straight up, the stimulus is great. The second set, obviously the stimulus is a bit lower, but it's great. It's still good stimulus. And then third, okay, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and then we dump. Just like any shitcoin you've seen on Deck Screener. Anyways, the point I'm trying to make, the more sets you do, the more stimulus you're going to get. That's a given. If you do more, you're going to get more out of it. However, there is a caveat. More sets equals better stimulus, but more sets also equals fatigue. Now, when you're creating a split or following a split, you can't just do 10 sets of chest in your workout to start with and then expect to hit the rest of your muscles with a lot of intensity or the matched intensity that you had at the start of the workout. If you're training 0 to 1 RR to fill it. Anyways, think of the whole session. Fatigue. CNS. What is CNS? It's central nervous system. Fatigue. This is what I'm talking about. So your CNS actually allows for those muscles to receive the signals to actually lift the weight. So your brain just can't keep doing all that. 10 sets of chest and then into biceps. It just doesn't work. Which is why you keep the volume low. And having volume low isn't bad, because shown in this graph, which I'm going to pop up like the actual graph, but this graph, which is a replica of the same graph I'm going to show you, 1 set is the best, first set is the best for stimulus, then the second set is okay. Actually no, the second set is good. First set, amazing. Second set, good. Third set, okay. 4th set, okay. What are we doing? 5th set, leave me alone. Which is why 2 sets is great. Per session, per muscle group. Each muscle group in a session. Easy. So 2 sets. And you can get away with 1 set. Which is what I do sometimes. Most of the time, all the time. Third concept is intensity, which just means how hard you train. Intensity is so simple. Just train hard. Train hard. That's it. Train harder than last time. Train harder than last time. Just train hard. You can train with reps in reserve. If you are a beginner, that's a B. If you are a beginner, I would train failure first, because you don't really understand how to train with RIR, and you probably never felt a full true set of failure training before. And you can't gauge RIR if you don't know how far you are to failure, which is the whole point of reps in reserve. Now, if you are an intermediate advanced lifter, obviously RIR is the better way to train, because easier to overload, most definitely when you're training with RIR. Easier to match the intensity every time, because failure training is a bit like, I've got another, I can keep going. Doesn't work. RIR, you know when to stop, you know how to overload. It's nice and easy, and also fatigue from failure is higher than doing RIR, which is why RIR is better. Okay, that was third concept. The fourth concept, rep range. Now, rep range is how many repetitions you do in a set. 4 to 8 reps is superior, full stop. This isn't something that you can argue with, because heavy loads, less reps, you are firstly doing less reps. And less reps is less fatigue, which is the goal. You want to perform your set with at least fatigue as you can, and 4 to 8 reps just gets you there quicker. That's it. You don't need to keep on. We know. We just know. 4 to 8 reps, superior. Any more? Higher reps? Shit. Trust me. However, if you're a bit and can't handle heavy loads compared to your 1 rep max, that's still fine. You can still grow muscle, obviously, by doing plus 8 reps, but it is just better if you can to do 4 to 8 reps. You don't have to, but it's better. Now, if you're sticking with 4 to 8 reps, if you go above this rep range, increase the weight. If you are below the rep range, decrease the weight. Simple. Number 5, progressive overload. Progressive overload means to increase weight or reps because of adaptations. Now, when I mean adaptations, I mean your muscle has had to adapt. And it has adapted because it has grew. If you are stronger because you picked a new movement and you just went up 3 reps, this is not growth. Oh, I shouldn't draw that arrow. Let's get rid of that. If you are stronger because you picked a new exercise and you're learning how to just do the exercise and you do more reps, that's not muscle growth, because your muscle hasn't adapted. It's to do with mind muscle. No, it's not. Just it. Yeah. So I do digress. To get bigger, you have to get stronger, and it's that simple. If you're progressing 9 times out of 10, if it's not a new exercise, you are putting on muscle. Now, must be standardized form, which means the form must be the same. If one time you are doing a lat raise and it looks like this, and then the next time you increase your weight, but then you start doing your lat raise with a straight arm, but you've changed the form. How can you know if you've progressed and built muscle? You can't. That's why you should have standardized form. And to have standardized form, it means the same movement with the same range of motion. I should probably write this down. So, standardized form. Oh, it's there. Silly me. Same RIR, same form, and I would also like to add same intensity. It's not progressive overload if one session you did 1 RIR and then the next session you went to failure and you increased a rep. That's not progressive overload, because you didn't match the intensity. You need to match every other variable. Once you've done that, you can call it progressive overload. Now, If you can overload, you are fatigued and most likely haven't recovered. So if you're not recovering, something needs to change, obviously. That could be sets, increase or decrease. You'll have to experiment, which is what this whole PowerPoint is about. Experimentation. You need to go and try these out in the gym, see what works for you, and then you will create your perfect split. That's number 5. The sixth concept, that's off the screen. Sixth concept is exercise selection, which is self-explanatory. Just look at the muscle. What does the muscle do? Let's take the biceps. Your biceps flex. Flex your arm, yes? So what you need to do is load that movement with weight and progress. That is it. Now, what makes a good exercise? I have 3, and a lot of other people do. Is it loadable? You cannot load a machine if you've maxed it. So you cannot progress on it well, so that's not a good exercise to do. Is it stable? Now, an exercise example that's not that stable is a Bulgarian split squat. Now, there are variations that do make it stable, but the typical Bulgarian split squat isn't stable. You've got a lot of balancing factors, especially being on one leg. So you just can't push as hard as you could as if you were doing the same movement on a machine. And a really important one that people forget is, do you enjoy motivation? If your motivation levels are high, your perceived effort is also going to be lots higher. So you're going to be able to push way harder than you actually think. If you don't, like, this is personal to me. I hate squats. And if I'm trying to grow my quads, let's just think what the quads do. They flex the knee. So let's find a movement that I enjoy where I flex my knee. Leg extensions. Simple. You don't need to do what everyone else does. Find exercises that you enjoy, find exercises that you can progress with, and find exercises that are loadable. That's it. Now, when you see all of these really weird exercises that you see on Instagram, don't get me wrong, I love seeing how people are able to advance their lifting techniques, but you don't need to do it. It's too excessive to the point where it just takes so much time to set up. Why? Don't do it. And your physique is not going to change dependent on what tricep extension that you do. Just pick something that you can hit all of these 3 pointers with and you'll be fine. I don't want to see any exercise in the bottom or comments in the bottom saying, is the cable lateral raise superior over the machine lateral raise because of stability, and should I cuff at the forearm or at the elbow? I don't care. You shouldn't care, and full stop. Now, another thing I'd like to add with exercise selection is redundancy. Now, redundancy just means not to train the same movement path with a different exercise. Don't waste energy on the same exercise that isn't the same exercise. Hit the function of the muscle with 1 or 2 sets done. So what I mean by this, let's say we're doing a chest press with your shoulders horizontally abducted. You do an incline press like this, and then you go on to do a chest fly like this. That is the exact same movement, and you're just doing more sets for the same movement when you should be doing other sets for other muscle groups. My point is, if you've trained a movement path once in the session, don't do it again. Another one that I would like to add, pardon me, is a shoulder press. So, shoulder press, I'll come back a bit further for this. So, shoulder press, this is your humerus, the upper arm bone. So for a shoulder press, typically people come down to a full range of motion and press up. Shoulder press, now this is the line of the humerus, it comes down and up like that. Now for a lat raise, you would do it like this. But you see how the humerus is the same sort of position as a shoulder press? Yes, I hope you can see that. So humerus, here to here for a lat raise, shoulder press, the same thing. It's the same thing, which is why you see a lot of people doing a lat raise like this, and then a shoulder press like this. So then you're not training redundantly. That's just one example. I hope that wasn't too complicated. Shouldn't be. But if it is, just drop a comment and I'll get back. Number 7 is priorities. The 7th and last concept, priorities. What exercise comes first? So mostly core, if I'm being truthful. Unless you've completely abandoned a muscle group and then you put it first, of course it's going to grow. So let's say you have small shoulders, which thankfully I don't. And that's not just because of my training, that's just because of genetics. So my shoulders look better compared to the rest of my physique. So, however, if you do have small shoulders, do them first in your training session, which is why there's never a perfect training split that I can give you on here, because I don't know what you look like, I don't know what you need. Now, if you train your shoulders first, and they're still small, unlucky, that's it. Sometimes you are dealt a bad hand, but it's not about the bad hand, it's about how you use that bad hand. Oh, that was nice. Good motivation for you. Okay, now the moment you've all been waiting for. This is a split template. Split template. I'm going to show you why it's good. I'm going to show you backed with the concepts that I've just been talking about, which you've been listening about, right? Okay. So let's dive into these split upper, lower, rest, repeat. So why is upper, lower, rest, repeat good? It follows all the checkpoints. So let's go through it first. So we have a chest compound, shoulder press, lat raise, lat pull down, horizontal row, rear delt fly, bicep curl, tricep push down. Now this hits all of your muscle groups. Doesn't collide as much as you would think. However, you do have the exception of these, which I will talk about later. And for lower, also pretty simple. You have adductor machine, calf raise, leg extension, hamstring curl, / hip hinge, hip extension, hip thrust, cable crunch, oblique crunch / twist. Now, all of these exercises will hit all of your muscle groups. So if you were to follow this split, not in the order was just, you can do it whatever order you want. But if you were to do this, progressive overload, all of the things I talked about earlier, you would grow. Now, let's go through why it's a good split. So first, frequency. Frequency is 2.3 times a week. Now, before we said that 2 is better than 1. So that's good. Ding! Insert tick sound effect, please, editor, which is me. Volume. Fatigue. Manageable. So again, this is something that you are going to have to experiment with. I found that doing 2 sets for each exercise is too much for me, but that's why it's template. You go in to the gym and you edit it, but it's a good template to follow. So fatigue, manageable. Intensity, you can't assess intensity by looking at a split paper form. So tick, 0 to 1 hour, just do it. Or failure if you are a beginner. Rep range, again, you can't assess from paper form, just train 4 to 8. Easy. Also, progressive overload. Extremely easy with upper lower because of the frequency. God, that pizza is not sitting well. Again, progressive overload because of the split, it's great. Frequency, good. Nice. Don't know why there's not a tick there. Oh yes, exercise selection highlighted. So, like I said before with the shoulder press and lat raise, it is a little bit redundant, but not really. If you do your shoulder press like this, and then do your lat raise like that, because it follows the same movement path. If you do your lat raise like this, and then do your shoulder press like that, great. And then the horizontal row and rear delt fly. Rear delt fly is horizontal ab abduction. Brian Dewars, thank you. I now understand why you say it like that. And horizontal row is the same movement path, but you just flex and then you shrug at the end. So same movement path, which is what I'm gonna explain about my split now. So, the moment you have all been waiting for, my split that I follow on a ritually basis. My split. Upper lower rest, repeat. It's the same thing, just different exercises and different sets and whatnot. Now, let's get into it. So, you might be looking and thinking, what the hell, Rocky? What the hell? You can do way more volume than that. I probably could, but we'll go into it. So let's just analyze my split and see what's good and what's bad about it. Because my split's not perfect, but it's perfect for me at the moment. But it won't be perfect for you. So 2 times lat pull down. This is the only exercise in my split that I do 2 sets for, and that's because, well, I just want big lats. I don't know. Anyways, I just want big lats, so I just do it first and more volume. Now, incline press, that's with a neutral grip, not horizontally adducted, because I do that when I train a chest fly, which is there. And it also trains front delts. Unilateral extension tricep, cable lat raise, like this. Machine row for the traps, cable chest fly, I said before, and recline curl is just a curl where you have your arm against the bench like that and you curl. That doesn't look good. Neither does that. Horrible horseshit lighting. Oh well. That's my upper. And then my lower, I hate legs so much, so actually the volume is the exact same as my upper. I've got to change that. Just kidding, I don't care. So, lower. 2 sets for adductors because I just like it. Just looks doesn't look nice at all. I don't know why I said that. 1 calf raise, 1 leg extension, 1 hamstring curl, 1 rear delt. Rocky, why are you doing rear delts on a lower day? Because I felt when I did my machine row and then a rear delt fly, I just couldn't train it well. And the machine row is prioritizing my traps and not my rear delts. So when I train rear delts on my lower day, it's not like they haven't recovered because I didn't give them volume really to begin with. I didn't give it an actual set, it was my traps. So that's why I train rear delts on lower. And then abs, you can't forget abs. Only reason why I go to lower, and also why I do cardio, because of lower. Actually no, I do cardio sometimes on upper. Forget that. Core, just do it. You need to train your abs. Do not forget to train your abs. I can't stress that enough. Now, analysis of my split. Frequency, upper lower, 2.3, great. Volume, could do more, but I'm progressing every session with the amount of volume. Now, if I were to progress on my exercises, I would increase my volume because it's just so low. That's what I would do. Intensity 0 to 1 RIR, rep range 4 to 8, progressive overload. Most times, sometimes I don't progressive overload, but I don't worry about it because I'm on a cut right now. So I'll just blame that. Kidding. I would not blame the cut. I would just stop being a bitch. Exercise selection, not redundant. However, I do need to add a hip hinge and a hip extension in my lower day. The only reason why I don't is because I can't be asked. Priorities, lat and front delts first. As you can see, they are first in the upper day, so I prioritize them. The only reason why I prioritize front delts because compared to my physique, they are small, I think. I don't know. I just want that sort of peak and then the peak again, but it's sort of flat. That is the video complete. Now, if you have any questions, just ask away, I'll answer them. But you shouldn't have any questions because this was a really simple video. So, if you enjoyed, subscribe, like, and yeah. Don't know what to say for the outro. Don't have an outro. This video is cope. Just train hard.